Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, and that means Talking Tuesdays. Talking Tuesdays, where I talk to you. It's Talking Tuesdays with me. I'm Lisa Z. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's video. Guys, back whenever I first started this channel and, well, this whole Talking Tuesday thing, one of the things that I said is that I was always going to be real with you and that I wanted to talk about subjects that are more sensitive, hard to talk about, real life issues, things like that. Things that'll make you kind of uncomfortable, if you get what I'm saying. And we have had a lot of those talks. But lately, I feel like we kind of like veered away from it. We're kind of like, okay, here's here. And then we're like way over here, like not even on camera anymore. And I feel like it's time to get back to that. And I was having a really hard time trying to figure out what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I was reading my book this morning. It's like 101 stories behind these country songs. And one of them was the Lady Antebellum song, I Run to You. And the person who wrote that, I don't remember how many people wrote it, actually said that that song was inspired by God. And I was like, that makes so much sense to me, because I never looked at it as a relationship song. I always looked at it as a religious song, which is kind of weird. But, I mean, it's just, to me, it just made more sense. And then whenever I read that, I was like, oh, good. I'm not the only one that thinks that. So then I was like, but how can I incorporate that into what I want to talk about today? Then it came to me. I need to talk about the word forgiveness and the act of it and just everything surrounding it. So over the past year or so, maybe 5, I don't know, between like 1 and 5 years, between like yesterday and the past, like 20, that's something that I've had to do a lot of. And I feel like the older that I've gotten, the harder it is, which should be the opposite, but it's not in my case. And I really don't know why. I think it's because I care more now, even though I shouldn't. But I feel like the hardest thing for me is to forgive others whenever they aren't sorry, whenever they never will be sorry, whenever they will never say those words, I'm sorry. But I feel like it's so important to forgive those people so that way you can move on. That way you can move on with your life. I'm not talking about any one person in particular here. I'm just talking about my life in general. Because I let a lot of people in, and then I get crushed by almost every single one of them. And in some way or another, it could just be something small, but it's like, okay, guards going back up with you. And I don't know why I am like that. That's something that, I don't know. I like being with people. I like socializing with people. But I also do enjoy my alone time, because I feel like I'm the only person that won't let me down. God won't let me down. I mean, I let myself down whenever, like, if I'm planking in the morning and I'm like, oh, I want to make it to 2 minutes and I only make it to like 1 minute and 30. I'm disappointed in myself. Or like, oh, I should have known better. Or whenever I say something that I shouldn't say. But that's the other thing too, is that the other hard thing is forgiving myself. And that actually is the hardest thing for a lot of people. I actually know a lot of people that say their number one thing that they struggle with is forgiving themselves, because we are our own worst enemy, and we do nitpick at every little thing that we do. And it's hard. It is so hard to be like, you know what? It's okay that I effed up. It's okay. As long as I don't stay down, it's okay. Let me cry. Let me get it over with. Let me scream. Let me doodle this in a book. Let me go play darts with people's pictures on it. You know, I don't actually do that anymore. I did that in my 20s, though. It was actually very nice. You know, let me go alleviate this pain that I'm feeling. Let me go for a run. You know, whatever it may be that you put your emotions into. And then at the end, I know for me, whenever I finally get out all that anger and all that hurt and all of that all those emotions, I feel so much better. I will cry and I will cry and I will cry. And sometimes I will go into the shower and I will just let the water just cleanse over me and wash over me. And then the second that I get out of there, I'm like, okay, the second that I turn this water off and I step out of the shower, I am done. I am done with this situation. I am done feeling sorry for myself. I am done. And I feel like that's such a good way to forgive yourself. You have to let yourself heal. You have to be able to do that in order to move on. And forgiving yourself and forgiving others is so important. It's important for your mental health. It's important for your whole health, like all of you, like your whole being. It's so important, because if you're holding on to all of that anger and all of that I just can't anymore, you're never going to get anywhere. You're going to keep rereading the same chapter over and over and over again, or you're going to be stuck in the same sentence for a week or more. And if you keep rereading it, you can't move on to see what's going to be great afterwards. You know what they say, whenever it rains, it pours, but there's always that rainbow at the end of the thunderstorm. And last night, I kid you not, last night, I was having a rough day. Not necessarily a rough day, but I was having one of those moments where I'm like, I just need a sign from God that everything's going to be okay. And it was storming out like crazy. So I came out to the living room, check on the dogs, and sit down with Jimmy. And I looked outside, and there was a rainbow. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you for sending me that sign. And not only was there one, but there was two. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you for that God wink. I mean, and it's so important to have, you know, people look for signs like it's going to be okay. Mine are cardinals, blue jays, and rainbows. And sometimes my signs come in different forms. A couple weeks ago, I was having a really, really, really bad day at work, and one of my buddies, I walked by, and he was like, Lisa, just keep breathing. And instantly, I was like, I'm good. Like, he just said the name of my favorite song by my favorite band, and I instantly calmed down. He had no idea that that was even my favorite song. He never heard the song before, and I'm just like, dude, you got to look this song up. So, but it was little signs. But you got to be able to forgive yourself, and you've got to be able to move on, and it's going to take time. And I'm not saying that you're going to be able to forgive and forget instantly. Never forget what people do to you, but you've got to forgive them, and you've got to forgive yourself, and look at your past and learn from your mistakes. And oh my goodness gracious, this video is going to be long, and I also can't see. I'm going to put my glasses back on. Also, I'm starting to get a little headache. So, I'm sorry that this video kind of is all over the place, but I just want you guys to forgive, and me to forgive. It's something that I struggle with, like I said, but it's going to make life so much better. It's so much easier, and it's going to be hard, but it's going to be okay. And I have to remind myself of that a lot. Crap. I'm crying. All right. I will see you guys next Tuesday, because I'm not off again until next Tuesday. So there you go. I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.